Alright, today what we're going to go ahead and do is create a pencil animal, something like this. So what I've done is I just found a real basic coloring page from the internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this coloring page, select the image, and I'll come up here to the top, and I'm going to do an image trace on that. So after I do the image trace, I'm then going to expand the shape to help separate it out. Okay, so after I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and ungroup it. So you can either go to Object Ungroup, or you can right click and ungroup. Sometimes you might have to ungroup it a couple times to get everything separated out. So I had to do it twice to make that happen. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the black here. Now that I've got it separated, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Select, and I'm going to go to Same and Appearance. So it'll let me grab all of the black parts of the picture. Okay, now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to make a copy of that. So I'm going to hit Control C to copy it, and then I'll delete that. I'll create a new layer. So open up my layers here, create a new layer, and I'm going to hit Control F. So it's going to put that right where it was, just on a separate layer. So now I'm going to go ahead and lock layer 2, and I'm going to go back to layer 1. I'm just going to throw some color in here just so you can see the color up against white background. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife tool. So you'll find the knife tool underneath this eraser tool icon. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this up to make it look like different pencil shapes. So I'm going to start with these circles here. So I'm going to slice through that, and when you start cutting with the knife tool, you want to start your cut before you're going across the shape and take it all the way to the other side of the shape. If you don't start your cut and take it all the way across, it's not going to cut all the way through. So you want to make sure that you get it all the way cut through. Okay? So what I've done is I've cut a section to make an eraser. I've cut a section to make the little metal bracket. Now I'm going to cut a section here to make the lead of the pencil. And I'm going to make a section for the wood part that's exposed, and then I'll let this part be the shaft of the pencil. Okay, and now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to cut across this guy here on his body to make a few, and I'll break him up to make his body a bunch of pencils. So maybe I'll make this head here, the eraser, the little metal bracket, the shafts, and the exposed wooden part, and the lead, of course. And I'm going to cut this up through here too to make another little pencil shape. So I'll get the lead part of the pencil, the wood part that's exposed, the eraser, and the metal bracket. Okay, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to start coloring this. I'm going to color this using my gradient tool. So if you can't find your gradient tool, just look under Window, scroll down, you'll be able to find it. So we're going to use this to get all the different colors to give these pencils shape. Okay, so I'll just start here with the shaft. Maybe I'll drag this yellow down inside here. I'll pull this yellow here to this, or the white to the center, and I'll double click on this black one, and I'll just make that yellow as well. Maybe even like that. Okay. So now we'll have the two colors on the side. I'm going to go ahead and change the angle of this so that it slants with the shape of my pencil. So if you just come here into this little angle box and you can push on the arrows on your keyboard, or you can use these numbers. And sometimes they don't give you quite the definition that you want with that, so sometimes you just have to work it out yourself. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change the color of this and make this gray instead of yellow for the metal bracket of my pencil. Okay, so I'll go ahead and adjust the angle of that just like I did before, just by clicking in this box and then using the arrows on my keyboard to adjust that. Okay, so now I'll make this part the eraser, so I'll just change this to pink on the side. So just double click on those, And I'll go ahead and adjust the angle of that as well. I'll get to the wood part and I'll change those colors to brown to make it look more wood-like. Then I'll adjust the angle here. I'll just use my arrows on my keyboard to adjust that, and then I'll get the lead part. And I'll make those. Maybe I'll make those black. So it'll be black on the sides, light in the middle. Then I'll go ahead and adjust the angle so that that highlighted area goes right through the center. Okay, so you can also adjust the little cursors here inside here to help adjust the angle to get the appropriate size you want. Okay, so I'm going to do this with all these parts in here, and since I've got that first one done, what I can go ahead and do is just suck out the color from the shape that I've already done, and then I just adjust the angle to match the shape that I want to be. Let's go to the next part. I can suck out the color there, and then adjust the angle. Okay, so with these round shapes, I'm going to take a different approach. So I'm going to go ahead and suck out the color gradient that I've already made, but I'll maybe change this to a radial as opposed to having it be linear. So I'll just change the gradient type or radial instead of linear. And then I'll just maybe pull this over to put the highlight, curve the highlight through the center like so. So I'll drag my little gradient sliders over here to make that happen. Okay, so I'll do that with this other one too. And the only reason I'm doing that is because these shapes are circular. Otherwise, I would just keep it on a linear pattern. But having it be circular like that will help it look more natural that way. So let's keep this one on the linear, but just adjust the angle. Maybe slide this over. Okay, so it's really just the shaft that we want to do that on, because the rest of it doesn't have that same circular motion. Okay, so we'll just adjust that. And I'll just go through and finish coloring these in. So we'll just suck out the color, adjust the angle, and we'll go from there. Okay, and there we have it.